This is a Swift Ace Jubilee Harmony. Just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. I do apologise if there's a bit of wind noise in the background today, but obviously it's fairly windy. Coming in the front locker, you've got your gas bottle and gas bottle tie down. On top of the gas bottle, you've got your on-off valve. So as you'll see, one way it says open, which is anti-clockwise, and then closed is clockwise. You do need to make sure that it's in the closed position before you travel down the road. In the front locker, you've got your spare wheel there, and you've got your leg winder bar also. And on the you've got your regulator up the top there, and your gas pipe work coming down to the bottle. Coming down the side of the caravan, you've got your heating and hot water flue, very simply there to allow the heating system to breathe, so it does basically the same job as the flue on the side of your house. Down below that, you've got your wind down leg to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. There is two wind down legs at the front of the caravan, one on either side, and you'll need these down on the ground when you use the caravan and it is on site and set up. You then have your water pump connection, very simple. Pull the blue trigger back and release, and pull the trigger back and push into place to lock the pump in. The pickup pipe needs to be fully submerged in water prior to turning the water pump on, so you need to make sure every time before you fill the system up this barrel is completely full, and I'll show you how to do the rest of that once we go inside of the van. Then got your battery locker and your mains power lead coming into the side of the caravan. So the mains power comes from the power on site, and behind in there as well you've got your battery. Like I said, we just need to put your new battery in the caravan that comes as part of the super startup pack. The motor mover and wheel nuts will demonstrate the motor mover to you while you're here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting prior to the caravan leaving site. The fresh water that comes in the front of the caravan has to come out somewhere, and that's where these two grey pipes down the side of the van come in here. So you open up these flaps and you have two large diameter holes, push a pipe in, and they'll drop down inside the Wastemaster. Coming towards the back of the van, you've got your toilet flush tank. So prior to using the toilet, you do need to make sure there's 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid. Then in the bottom, you'll find your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling up the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees, so you can tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. And on the back of the cassette, there's an orange pressure relief button, so when you tip in the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. On the back of the caravan, there's two more wind down legs, one on either side, as you can see here, to stabilise the caravan while it's in use. You've then got your two fridge vents. Two fridge vents are very simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. During the summer, you will notice the fridge won't be as efficient as what it is during the winter months, for instance, because it'll be drawing in too much hot air from behind the fridge, so it won't get as cold as what it may do at other times during the year. You've then got your 230 power socket, so you can have power out to your awning, locker for underneath your seating area, and then your barbecue gas point at the front. Coming on to the inside of the caravan now. So shut the door so you can hear me properly. As you can hear, the radio is working as you'd expect. Just going to turn the radio down. So when you come into the caravan, the first thing you need to do is turn on the master power on the switches here. The indicator here indicates we've got power coming from the power post on the outside of the caravan to the caravan itself, and then the orange light that appears on the car, and if you've got a green dot on the caravan, will indicate you've got power coming from the car to the caravan when you are towing. If you've got all three lights on, then you either need to disconnect the mains power or the car from the circuit. On the left hand side here, you've got your leisure battery voltage, as you can see. On the right hand side, you've got your vehicle voltage, so that's the power the car is putting through to the caravan to charge the battery. You can press the levels button here and it'll bring up the levels on either side. You've got your interior lighting on the button just here. You've got your awning light on the button on the left hand side, and then you've got your water pump run, which I'm going to come back to in a second. To fill the water system up, the first thing you're going to need to do is come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan. And in this cabinet here, you will find the yellow drain down valve. So to fill the system up, you need to make sure the valve is in the position it's in now. And if you want to drain the water system down, you need to put that valve upright and point it towards the bottom of the seat. So essentially, the valve just pivots on itself, so it pivots up like this from the bottom, and when it's in that position, you'll be able to drain the system down. Once that valve is in the closed position, or in the filled position, you open every tap up on the hot side of the water system. You will actually notice I've already filled the system up. However, when it's empty, you then come over to the control panel, turn your water pump on, and once you have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan, that is when the water system is full, and you'll be able to start warming the water on board the van and also using the heating. Do advise that you have the water system filled before using the heating system also. So to use the heating and hot water on this caravan, you have the control panel on the left hand side here. A little bit hard to see because of the light. I'm just going to turn this off for a second. Press and hold the power button in the centre, and you do need to do this every time prior to turning off this control panel here. You have to turn off this control panel first and wait for the screen to go blank as it has now. And you never turn it back on until you've got this control panel turned on. So now we've got the control panel on, press the power button in the centre here. The first icon that is flashing is the room temperature. So press the central button, then you can use this dial to spin left or right to control the room temperature. The next icon across, to select the temperature, hit the central button, spin across to the right, and we've got our water temperature. So we've currently got hot water off. You've got eco, hot or boost, depending on what you're trying to do in the caravan. If you want to shower, obviously you're going to need it on the boost, and it is a half an hour timed boost. For now, we're going to have the hot water turned off, because what you'll notice is the heating bin on will actually warm the water on board the caravan also. If you come across to the right again, you've got your power source that you want to use for the heating and hot water. This is only relevant to the heating and hot water system, not to the fridge or anything else like that. Obviously you can run the fridge on gas, and obviously your hob grill and oven all work on gas as well. But this is just the power source for the heating and hot water. So you've got the option of gas on its own. To ignite it on gas, select the gas option, hit the central button. Mix 1 is 1000 watts of electric and gas on its own, and a combination of gas at the same time. Mix 2 is 2000 watts of electric and a combination of gas at the same time. Electric 1 is 1000 watts of electric on its own, and electric 2 is 2000 watts of power on its own. To select this power source, hit the central button, or to select the power source you want to use, you hit the central button, and that will select your power source. If you come across to the right again, you've got the option for your fan speed for when you've got the heating turned on. So at the moment, we've got it on boost, just to get the caravan nice and warm. However, you can set it to eco, high, or boost. So this is a bit like the fan speed in your car at this point. Obviously, we're going to leave it on boost for now, just so when you arrive on site, the caravan is nice and warm, with it being a bit cooler today. Down the bottom of the screen here, you've got 3 advanced options. For these, we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan, and it will explain fully how these advanced settings work. If I tried to explain them in the video, we'd probably be here for 2 to 3 hours trying to get through it all. Hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances, with an igniter on the front here, as you'd expect to see, and the same with the microwave. The fridge is very simple to use. You've got a power button here on the top left hand side. Hit the power button and the fridge will come on. At the moment, as you can see, it is working on mains power. To change the mode, well, first of all, we'll go through the temperature. To change the temperature on mains or gas, you can hit the button here on the right hand side, and it will allow you to change the temperature of the fridge. The more amount of dots you've got lit up, the colder the fridge will be. Hit the mode option and you can go to auto mode. What this will do, it will select the first power source it sees. Once it sees either gas or mains power, it will go to that power source straight away. Or if, for instance, you connect to the car and you have the right connection on your car, you can actually use the fridge as a cool box from the 12 volt supply from your car. It will not work off the 12 volt supply on board the caravan. No caravan currently does this. Hit the mode button again, and it will take us across to our 12 volt mode. As you can see at the moment, it's bringing up a warning light to say we have no car connected at the front of the caravan. Hit the mode option again, and you've got gas. The fridge will self-ignite on gas if the gas is turned on, and if it fails to ignite on gas, it will actually let you know by flashing the blue, or bringing up the blue warning light here, and it will also flash the blue symbol here, the blue dot here, sorry, and it will also make that beeping noise that you heard a moment ago. I should have said, sorry, if it fails to ignite on gas on the control panel up there for the heating and hot water, it will actually bring up an error code on the screen, and we do advise that you try to reignite it again at the soonest opportunity. To turn the fridge off, you'll press and hold the power button, and the fridge will isolate power wires. Next up, we have the bathroom. Obviously your taps and your shower work very much like your household appliance, no difference at all there. Toilet system, very simple to use. Electric flush on top of the toilet. So you hit the flush button and it allows the toilet to flush. Indicator light here illuminates red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself actually turns for your convenience. So you can have the toilet pointing straight across the caravan when you're not using the toilet, because in this position it will allow you to remove the toilet waste cassette. If the toilet seat is turned, it will lock the toilet waste cassette in place and it will not allow you to remove that cassette. At the bottom of the toilet, at the front here, you can just about see it here in the video. That's the grey waste handle. At the moment it's in the closed position. When you're using the toilet, you push it across to the open position, and that will allow the waste into the cassette. When you're not using the toilet, you do need to make sure it's back in that central position, so no smells come up inside the caravan, but also so it allows you to remove the toilet waste cassette when it is full. So it's a Swift Ace Jubilee Harmony. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thanks again. Bye bye.